Peace, fam. Dr. She in the house. You're not going to be able to help yourself with autoimmune diseases and these sicknesses that you have that you cannot detect the origin of until you clean up your environment. Part of cleaning up your environment is removing toxicity. Your toxicity is in your soap, your toxicity is in your lotion, your toxicity is in your hair care. The stuff that comes off the shelf is usually laden with chemicals and toxins and fake perfumes. Go to 25000yearcycle.org, get yourself some proper soap. We have 3 different types, and some proper skincare, Silk Care, which is one of the best skincare products you're going to get in existence right now. 25000yearcycle.org. Dr. She out. Link in bio. Peace.
Peace and blessings, family. Sister Ajali, this is a disturbing moment, but I'm not going to get all into, describing it, because the point is to emphasize how radiological contamination on the levels that we're dealing with has many different just aspects that goes beyond imagination. So I don't fault anyone who has a difficult time understanding what I'm talking about. I can entreat you to go and read the books so you can get a better grasp. However, there's one aspect of this that's just as bold in your face, and that's Boeing's BS. And so I just want to show you how they're just, with the collapse of the corona hysteria psyop attack, where they never ever employed Koch's postulates to isolate anything of the sort, which from my investigation, talk about things that are hard to explain. They wouldn't even allow anybody to explain it. I remember putting up a video showcasing how wearing those damn masks vastly reduced people's oxygen level so that they would suffer long-term hypoxia, which would be the equivalent of suddenly having emphysema. That's the reason why people with bronchial problems suffer from chronic diseases, because it acidifies the blood not to have enough oxygen reaching every single tissue and organ that you have. And so it was the collapse of that whole narrative, and the fact that so many people didn't trust the government, but beautiful black you and me, we trusted them the least, because we were like, why you give a damn all of a sudden about our health, and you want to threaten everybody's job if they don't get that jab. But that was also another part. These guys, the devil is deceitfully clever. He ain't dumb, but he ain't what Candace Owens wishes that he was, because it's not wise to be evil. It is the dumbest thing you could possibly do, but you could be clever and evil. And so the other side of the collapse of the corona hysteria attack was then to blame the injectable for everything, including a mysterious rise in people contracting cancer and dying. But that's very similar to all the creatures that died in the Pacific Ocean, and all the scientists were all befuddled. It's just a mystery. When you look at it, colon cancer is the one that is escalating through the roof. If you get an injectable, it's not going to affect your colon like that. But if you're eating radiation, that damn sure would. But notice, they never, ever, ever, ever mention a word about that radiation. Now, that said, in the meantime, I have to highlight this while it's on the scroll of Daily Mail, because the language is different here. Boeing gone, beset by daily mechanical failures and warnings. A deadly disaster is inevitable amid a ruinous obsession with a woke workplace. I want you to see the wording on that specifically. Woke workplace. That would encompass every single insanity that's out there. And that they then just place all of Black us in there, even though we are maniacally against. First off, we were the original and remain the folks who they keep blaming as homophobic. I would say we're murderophobic also. Okay, so that's not an insult like they want to put it out there. When you are promoting a doctrine that uses love as its sole rule, its sole parameters, then you are destroying society because you need rules, you need guidance, you need wisdom. You don't just need whatever you feel like today, baby. Right? And so to push a doctrine that means somehow you're going to justify the removal of the intricate value of the opposite sex in having a hope of a stabilized family unit. You're going to just say, oh no, we could get along without women altogether. We could get along without men altogether. That's a problem. That's an immediate problem and a destruction of the family. And so that's us. That's how we operate. And then when you look at the maps of all the places where this doctrine of, just whatever, do as thou wilt, we're against that. It's going to be the Black places. The more melanin you have, the more you are capable of thinking wisely. Right? And so to put us in this woke thing is part of their strategy, their plan. So they can blame us for everything. So, I love how easy it is to tear apart this Boeing blame where we're the culprits. They got a woke workplace. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to look. And I noticed they came up with this, diversity thing when the whole corona hysteria narrative fell to pieces. They're still pushing the whole idea that, we got turbo cancer from the jab that's not going into people's colons like the radiation is. That the FDA is now allowing all food from Fukushima into our U.S. food streams, and it's been in Europe for a while, okay? And I wonder about the princess chick. I'm not saying which one, but the one who's got cancer. I sometimes wonder, does she really have cancer? Because she was pushing, preemptive chemotherapy. I think there's a lot of places out there that are just like, wait, women are actually going out and getting their boobs chopped off just because we tell them they might get cancer 50 years from now? Whoa, we got all this chemo over here. We got to get a spokesmodel for that. I'm not saying she doesn't have it. I'm just saying the whole thing is just like these people, you can't trust nothing they say, nothing. Okay? And so I looked it up to see just how many Black people are on the staff of Boeing. And this article came out in 2021. And so that's right on the end of the whole corona hysteria collapse. They needed something else. That's the beautiful thing about exposing liars. The more you expose them, the more their lies weaken because they have to come up with them real quick to substitute for the big one that they've been planning for hundreds and hundreds of years. Because you could find also, like I remember Denver Airport. This thing is so friggin' creeptoid. It's not even funny. And they try to say, conspiracy theorists are putting all sorts of reasons behind this painting, this mural that was put together and, revealed in 2020. Where they showed like children dying and people lining up for some sort of like disastrous medical reason. It was just obvious they knew because you also had the Catholic Church putting Baphomet in front of the Roman Colosseum. Come on now, are we that slow? And so looking at this, at Boeing, most of the people who are hired there are white people. And then right after that is Asians. And then we make up a itty bitty little bit, 6.4%. 6.4%. So anything we are doing, we are not in managerial positions in any regard to make impactful decisions on the safety of Boeing airplanes. We are being managed. So if there's anything wrong, it ain't our fault. And once again, let's go on over to my crash file, where most of these planes are single engine private planes. This sucker just goes on and on and on, and I could get a whole nother list of planes that is even more lengthy, because these are just the people, they died. This is a bird strike one, where this also, nobody died. That's a wonderful thing. But most of these are not Boeing planes. But they don't mention that because they own the media. And they create stereotypes that suit their devilish purposes. Like, you know, the role of stereotypes. Just this story here, where a wife, 48, was married to a Texas judge who was 72. And she shot dead his nephew. No, it's not hers, other than by marriage. And they were just having a fight because she wanted him to get the hell out. She owns the house, but that's her. She got a gun. When you got that little hair trigger temper, it's real dangerous having guns in the house. And that's the ticket, because there's a stereotype about Asian women that they're just so accommodating. I'm not saying that maybe there aren't, but when you actually study Asian societies, that's not what you're going to find. But stereotypes are so encompassing because they're quick, they're easy, like fast food, fast thinking. Stereotypes, that's what they are. So my condolences to the murdered young man. I don't know any details. I'm not interested. I'm just here to talk about the stereotyping. Because this ain't us. This is one where the family, I reported on this one, where the mother and the father, they're gone, and their children are left parentless. And here's another one. This is a helicopter. Robinson R-44 helicopter plummets in the water off Miami Beach after mechanical failure. I mean, this brand new, April 7, 2024, okay? And luckily, the pilot, I do believe, was not too badly injured. Luckily, okay? These are real lives at stake. But these MFers, what do they want to do? Make it seem like it's all of us. It's a woke workplace. Why? Because us? No. And then you go to the article and then they change it. Why did they hit the outset? Because they know that they're going to get more viewers coming in to look at woke. And then the ones who they love stereotyping us as no individual race or nationality of people stereotype like they do us, because they use us. We are a prisoner of war nation, and we are the coin of the realm, so that they could get away with genocide. And so the wording here is diversity targets. Well, you think since 2020, 2021, they suddenly have gone from 6.4% black workers to what? It would have to be like 60, 70%. Stop. Now, to keep this short, I'm not going to show the other Daily Mail articles that I saw where they were several times using the word cull. Okay, the great culling. Well, this is a brand new story. Club of Rome unveils plan to cull billions from the world population. Did you know that Donald Trump, from reports I've learned, has invested in insurance plans that depend on you and I, we ain't volunteering, just being killed, gone. Boom, there you go. Because these dudes are desperate. They're not going to stop wanting to be in charge of everything. And they got so much to lose. They're going to lose their whole nuclear base once it's revealed just how obliterating radiation is. And they're in desperate straits. So that's why they're just pulling out the Boeing narrative. It's all our fault, all black you and me. Hell no. Love you. So definitely, just do the research. There's nothing I'm sharing that you can't find for yourself, especially I've shared that booklet. You're going to understand. Radiation is like no other contaminant that we have ever been taught to understand. So it seems beyond comprehension when everything we're seeing, including the quakes and the crashes, that's what it does. Go to 25,000 year cycle. Dr. She said it best at the very beginning, so I'm not going to belabor the point, but we are having until the end of the month 20% off sales. That's incredible. So if you've got my soap or my silk hair or my books, then you know how good that stuff is. If you've gotten Dr. She's products, and you know how amazing his formulas are, you're going to want to take advantage of this, okay? All right. Straight Black Pride is the foundation of our families claiming everything that is ours, and that's forever. Peace and blessings.